Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Emily if it is your first time here. In today's video I'm going to be trying something a little bit new and I am very excited for it, and if I like the way that this turns out, then chances are I will end up making this a series here on my channel. So if this becomes a series, I'm going to be calling it the Single Shadow series, and it's very similar to my lipstick series that I started and then kind of stopped a while ago, where I basically randomly select a random single shadow from my collection and do a whole look based around it. Now as you can see, I already have my base makeup on. If you're curious as to what is already on my face, everything that goes on my face today basically will be listed in the description box of this video. So I have already randomly selected my single shadow and I'm actually very excited for the vibes that I want this look to give. So the single shadow that I have here is the shade Penny Champagne by Clarity Cosmetics, and this is the most beautiful cool toned gold bronzy shimmer, and I'm going to give it a little swatch here. It is the most like metallic foiled beautiful shimmer ever, and I love the formula on this. It's really creamy. It is like one of the most creamiest shimmer shadows that I have ever touched in my entire life. So I have selected eye products to pair with this. I pulled out a few blushes and we're basically just going to do the colorful side of this look on camera and see what I can come up with. I personally feel like I don't give my single shadows enough love in my collection, so basically that is what this series is going to be, just highlighting all my single shadows. So without further ado, let's jump into the makeup. My lips are actually super dry right now, so I'm going to put on some of my Huda Beauty Hydra Plumping Lip Balm. I've had this in my Shop My Stash for like 2 or 3 months now, and I just have the hardest time remembering to use it. So I'm trying really hard to like use this up. So the palette that I pulled that I think will work nicely for this look is my Jaclyn Hill and Morphe Volume 1 palette. I'm going to start, I believe, by dipping into one of these two. These are the shades Silk Cream and MFEO. I think I'm actually going to dip into just MFEO because if I remember correctly, the last time I used this palette, I went to use Silk Cream and it didn't perform the best. And I definitely think that's just because this palette is super old and I've had it for a really long time. I have my AOA Studio E141 brush and I'm picking up MFEO. And my eyes are already primed and set. I used the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched eye base, and then I set it with my Maybelline Fit Me Loose setting powder. And I'm just going to start taking the shade MFEO through my crease. I just want like a really light transition shade here. I have such a good dip going in this shade MFEO, and I definitely think that if it ever ended up in my project pan, I could definitely hit pan on it like pretty quickly. I just hit pan. That is the most exciting thing in the world. I actually just hit pan on the shade. I will show you in a minute after I'm done blending. Look at that. That is literally so exciting. There's a little itty bitty pan in there. Oh my gosh, I can't believe that just happened on camera. So next I'm going to take a different brush. This is the Luxie 205 tapered blending brush, and it's a little bit smushed because I got it in a BoxyCharm or Nipsey or something, and I'm going to dip into this shade in my single shadow in my singles palette. This is the shade Geodude from the Colourpop So Jaded palette. It is currently in my project pan, but I think that this tone will work nicely. Now that I'm looking at it, I don't think I want to use that. Let me wipe my brush off, and we're actually going to go back over to the Jaclyn Hill palette and pick up, this is so hard to show, pick up this shade right here, which is called Pooter. I hate that name. That makes me really uncomfortable. Don't ask me why. It's a little bit more of a cool tone, and since our shimmer shade is a cool tone, I just think that it'll work a little bit better. So I'm going to start taking this a little bit lower in the crease. And I'm holding my brush really close to the end because I recently I've been trying to focus and work on my blending skills. Realized that my blends have been not the best recently, so I'm really trying to like work on it and make them look good. So I'm trying to like work on blending in circular motions, but the thing is I have a really hard time just like moving my hand that way on this eye, and on this eye it's like so easy. So I've been struggling just a tiny bit, but okay, so I'm happy with that and where it is right now. So next I'm going to deepen this up a little bit, and first I'm going to take this shade right here, which is called Mocha. I'm going to take that on this random brush that I got from Amazon. This is the BS Mall brand. I actually loved this brush set, and this is my favorite brush for doing outer corner blending. So I'm going to pick some of that shade Mocha up on that brush and start just blending this in the outer corner of my eye. And I'm not taking it too far in, trying not to take it too far up. And then I'm gonna switch back to the shade Hooter and that Luxie brush and blend it out. Or just blend the edges, really. Now we're going to go like even deeper here, and I think I'm gonna pick up this Makeup Geek small crease brush that I've had for the longest time. I've had this brush for years, and I'm going to go in with the shade Central Park, which is an even deeper, even more cool toned brown. And I'm just going to pick that up like on the very tip of the brush, tap it off, and then start putting that down here against my lash line. And I'm going to take it in like just a little bit farther than Mocha. And I'm trying not to blend that up too high, but again, like I said, working on my blending skills, so I don't know. Alright, I'm really happy with that matte work and the crease work and the blends that are going on. So now we're going to move on to using the star of the show, the shimmer shadow. So first I'm going to start by putting some of the NYX glitter primer on my eyes. Recently I've been loving putting down this glitter primer before I put down any shimmer. Quite honestly, this one really does not need it, like literally at all. But I don't know, I've just really been enjoying having a little bit of an extra pop by using this. That's what I'm gonna do. And then I'm gonna pick some of it up on my finger and press that onto my eyelid. And I'm kind of like angling it up right here. I'm trying to avoid where we blended that really dark shade and kind of angle it up a little bit more, if that makes any sense. So I'm kind of like stopping and then going at a slant. And I'm also kind of putting down the glitter primer in that shape too. So like kind of avoiding the little smokiness that we did here in the outer corner. You can really see the angle that I put that shadow on a lot better on this side than this side for some reason, but it's really just like a slant, you know? We are going to go back in and blend this out. So I'm first going to go in with Hooter and the Luxie brush and just blend the edges of that shimmer just so that everything looks not so harsh and a little bit more seamless. But I want to be careful that I don't actually overblend the shimmer, because since it is so creamy, it can actually start to like kind of migrate on my eye and go up way too far, which is not what I want. I just want this to be a little bit more blended. Then going back in with Mocha and that BS Mall brush, all here on the outer corner, kind of doing the same thing, making sure I'm not over blending it so that it doesn't migrate too far but just blended enough that it doesn't look so crazy and harsh. And I actually, did I pick up the wrong shade there too? I actually kind of think that I did. And then I am gonna go back in with a little bit of Central Park and put that along the lash line again. Alright, so I'm happy with that eyeshadow right there. I'm going to move on to the lower lash line and going to take the Luxie brush and powder and blend that out down here. And then the DS Small brush and the shade Mocha, and I keep picking up the wrong shade, and I'm gonna get mad here. And on this, I'm kind of picking it up more on the side of the brush and not so much on like the tip. And I'm going to blend this only in about halfway. And then we're going to take the Makeup Geek brush and the shade Central Park and just add a little bit of this really close to the lashes. Alright, I really like where that's at. Now I'm going to work on my eyeliner a little bit. So I'm going to take the ColourPop and Raw Beauty Kristi Creme Gel Liner in the shade Woodsy and put that like on my lower waterline. And then I'm actually going to do something that I've been doing recently that I've been liking the look of. I'm going to take this Queen Studios Dragon Liner and I'm going to get real close to the camera and my mirror and kind of push my lashes up and go underneath it and put this liner like underneath my eyelashes. And I just find that it helps make them look so much darker. You can see my two eyes compared. I really do feel like it's been making a difference. Like, it makes my eyelashes look like naturally full. And like I have a lot more eyelashes than I actually do. And I just got this eyeliner all in my eyes, so my eye liquid now is black, but it'll go away and then this eye will stop looking like that. So now we're gonna do mascara, and I'm going to be using the one that's in my Shop My Stash. That is my Fenty Beauty Full Frontal Mascara, but first I'm gonna give them a little curl. Before I go in with mascara, I'm going to come back into the Jaclyn Hill palette one more time, and I'm going to pick up the shade here called Enriched and use that to highlight my brow bone. Forgot that I like to do these steps before doing mascara. It just gives a really nice little bit of a glow there. And then I'm going to dip back into my singles palette and pick up the shade right here, which is from the Oden's Alva palette, and it is the shade Baby's Breath. And I'm going to pick that up on my little pinky and use that to highlight the inner corner of my eye. And the shade is so stunning. It is just so pretty and sparkly. I love it. And now we're gonna go in with mascara, and I'm probably gonna do this off camera just because it will take a very long time. I'm kind of obsessed with this eye look. I literally think it is so pretty. I'm gonna take another product from my project pan, which is the Wander Beauty Trip for Two Blush and Bronzer Duo, and I'm going to go in with the bronzer. For blush, I'm gonna be honest, I couldn't pick one, and I have 3 options here that I'm just gonna talk about and kind of talk through and try to pick one. They're all very similar, and I kind of think I know which one I want to go with. But first, I have the Merit Beauty Cheek Color in the shade Terracotta. I'm gonna swatch these like on my hand here just so we can kind of get an idea of how similar they all are. The Fenty Beauty Cheeks Out Freestyle Cream Blush in the shade Fenty Glow, which looks like this. And then I pulled my Patrick Ta Double Take Cream and Powder Blush in the shade She's So LA. So these are what all those blushes look like together. We have the Merit Beauty Fenty, the Patrick Ta Powder, and the Patrick Ta Cream. And I think I'm kind of leaning towards the Merit. So I'm going to take my ColourPop F20 brush and just pick some of this up directly from the little thing and start applying it to the cheeks. Funny. I've also been liking applying my blush a little bit higher on my cheeks and then only putting my bronzer really closer to my nose. Because I think I've just been finding that my highlighter and bronzer has been looking like super disconnected and weird, and this definitely helps a lot. So for my highlight, I'm going to go in with my Shop My Stash highlight, which is the AOA Studio Velour highlight in the shade Sometimes. And I think today I'm going to try using this on a brush. Even though it is a cream highlight, let's just see what happens. Alright, and now we're going to do the lips, and honestly, I think that the lips is the part of this look that I'm most excited for, just because I picked out a combo that I think is going to look so good. Real quick before I do that, I'm going to give my face a little spritz of my Milani Make It Last setting spray. So first I'm going to line my lips with the NYX Suede Matte Lip Liner in the shade Sandstorm. And I shaded my lips in like just a tiny bit. And then I'm going to go in with my Marc Jacobs New Nudes Sheer Gel Lipstick in the shade Anise. And this is a really gorgeous light nude. And then, you know I love a glossy lip, so then we're going to take the Fenty Beauty Gloss Bomb in the shade Baby Brute, which is another really light nude. And this is the finished look. I really love the way that it turned out. I wanted to do kind of more of a monochrome look for this look. I think that this lip looks really pretty with this eye and this single shadow. Oh my gosh, it is seriously just so good. Like, that swatch still looks absolutely amazing. So after filming this, I think I have decided that I'm going to make this a series on my channel. I had a lot of fun just being able to sit down and like think about what I want to do, and it just like added a little bit more fun into my makeup routine, and I loved using this shadow, and I'm really excited to be able to feature more of my singles on my channel because I love my singles collection and I am working on expanding it more, so I'm just excited to be able to give them the credit that they deserve. If you did enjoy this video, I hope you will give it a thumbs up and maybe subscribe before you go, and hopefully I will see you in my next one. Bye!